Okay, next we have a sales tax example. So in real life, when you have to purchase something with sales tax, of course, you'll have the original price, they'll add sales tax to it, and then that will be your total price. Okay, in this particular problem, the question says what was the price before tax? So X would be price before tax. So the price before tax, of course, would be this part of the equation. Your sales tax here in this particular problem was 9%. So remember 9%, if we're changing that to a decimal, I move it over 2 places. So that would be 0.09. Okay, so this would be 0.09 right here. Remember, percent is part of a whole, so you have to put your X there, and we would get 185.30 for the total price. So that's how we would set this one up. Just like in our other examples, we have to put the X's together. There's an understood 1 here in front of the X. Using your calculator, your mind, however you want to do it, you have to put these X's together. So you would say 1 plus 0.09, and you get 1.09x. Okay, once you get there, you need to get X by itself. So to get X by itself, you'll divide both sides by 1.09. I know the numbers are ugly, but if you're using a calculator, it gives you really nice numbers. When you divide 185.30 by 1.09, you get 170. So that would be the hotel room's price before tax. Okay, the next one you have is the markup one. When you have a store or any kind of business, you buy a product and you can't sell it for that same price or you wouldn't make any profit. So you mark it up and then you sell it. And so you see a little template for this one. At the end of the question up there, it says what was the dealer's cost? Well, that's the store's cost. So X is going to be the store's cost. But then they have to mark it up. And the markup is 25%. So 25% would be 0.25. Now remember, it's not just 0.25, it's 25%, which would be 25% of the whole. So you have to put the X in there with it. And that equals your selling price, which is $15. You have to put these X's together. Remember, there's an understood 1 in front of this first one. So 1 plus 0.25 would be 1.25x. We'll divide both sides by 1.25. And X would equal 12. And that's what we get for that one. Okay, the last one you have for this video will be the perimeter one. You have a rectangular tennis court and it's 6 feet longer than twice the width. If the court's perimeter is 228 feet, what are the court's dimensions? Okay, well, the way that dimensions work is you're going to have a blank for length and you're going to have a blank for width. Okay, now another thing that you're going to have to do is if you read the question, it says what are the dimensions? So one of those dimensions is going to be X and the other one is going to be some multiple of X. Okay, in this problem it says 6 feet longer than twice the width. Since width is what it's being compared to, you want your width to be X, because that's what it's compared to. Now that you know your width is X, the other one's easy to find. So reading it backwards, it says 6 feet longer than twice the width. Okay, the width is X, so twice the width would be 2X. 6 feet longer than that would be plus 6. Now, you're welcome to use your perimeter formula, P equals 2L plus 2W, but I use a different method. I just draw it out. So you have a rectangle. It doesn't matter if the rectangle is tall or long. It doesn't matter. But I'm going to go ahead and label my sides. Okay, I know the length is longer, so this side here is 2x plus 6. And if that is 2x plus 6, that means the bottom one is also 2x plus 6. Okay, that means that this side over here is going to be the width, so that's x. That means this side here will also be x since it's a rectangle. Now, perimeter means add up all the sides. So now that I have my sides in place, I don't have to use one of my fancy formulas. All I have to do is add up the sides. So I'm going to start here with this one, 2x plus 6. Then I'll grab this side, x. Then I'll grab this side, 2x plus 6. And then I'll grab this side, and that's x. So I added up all the sides. It tells me inside the problem that the perimeter is 228. Now, a lot of times in my classroom, the students say, where'd you get that? 228 was given to me in the problem. So that's where that came from. To solve out the equation, we'll add up all of our x's. 2x plus one more would be 3x. 4, 5x, 6x. So we get 6x on this side. 6 and 6 would give me 12, and that equals 228. I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides, and 6x would equal 216. I'll divide both sides by 6, and x should equal, double check with my calculator, x should equal 36. Now that's not my answer yet, because remember the question at the top said, what are the dimensions? Now x is 36, so that's pretty good. But if I look back up there, I know that the width is x, so that means 36, since x is 36 and x is the width, that's what that one's going to be. But the length says it's 2 times x, which is 36, plus 6. So this would be 72 plus 6. So that means your length is going to be 78. And that's how that one should work.